Shalom, today is April 25th, and it is day 202 since the war began in Israel. Let's take a look to what Israelis are reading today in newspapers. In Yediot Achronot, it says the cabinet will decide, the war cabinet, today it will decide, entering Rafah or continued talks about the hostage negotiations. And here's a hostage, Hirsch. We'll take a closer look inside, but there's his picture in Gaza, from Gaza, with his hand cut off, his left arm. Next headline, Chag Tachat Ish, holiday under fire. They're speaking about the Passover holiday, what Israel is celebrating these days. And it reads, Ein rega shel sheket, there's not one moment of quiet. There's sirens, there's shooting, and there's direct hits all around the northern border. So the northern border is usually full of tourists, Israeli tourists, mobbing places, enjoying so many beautiful places in the north, but now because of the war, it's all empty. Israel b'milchama. Back to the first headline. Hamas mamshich b'terror psychologi. Hamas continues in the psychological warfare or terror, and the war cabinet will discuss today about the negotiations, continued negotiations with Hamas or going in to Rafah. That's where we think the hostages and Yahya Sinwar is. 201 days since Hirsch Goldberg Polin was kidnapped on October 7th. Yesterday, the terror organization published the first clip of him, a propaganda clip, where we see his left hand cut off, it says. It's not clear when it was taken, but in the video, he does mention the Passover holiday, and he's demanding from the government to let him and to set him and all the rest of the captives free. His parents responded, "We were relieved to see him alive, but we are worried for his health." After Hirsch's clip was published yesterday, many people came angrily and demonstrated against the government right outside of where the Prime Minister stays in Jerusalem. They're demanding the government to set the captives free. So the news is that today the war cabinet will get together and decide going into Rafah or not continue talks with Hamas. Now the IDF is ready. They're ready to go into Rafah. They're just waiting for the command. To the next headline, Gorem Tzva'i, here a military source says, Tzahal mukhan lamivtza b'Rafiach. The IDF is ready for an operation in Rafah. Mechakim le'or yarok, waiting for a green light. And here is Rafa right now, where the evacuated from the north are staying in the south in Rafa, and they are intense here. They're in very bad conditions. So if the IDF starts their operation in Rafa, all of these people will have to leave, and the IDF will make sure they leave before they operate. Next headline, billions of dollars from America are on the way to Israel. And it reads, the uncle from America helps again. President Joe Biden signed an international aid package that includes $14.6 billion for Israel. They quote Biden, how he's committed to Israel. And here we see the layout of how this money will be distributed. It's for advanced weapon systems and aerial defense. Here in the photograph, we see the Iron Dome launching a defense rocket. Next, still Israel b'milchama, and there's a play on words here, paschu alehem, they were passed over. And they're speaking about the different tourist sites owners, that this is a very big hit that is threatening the tourist branch all around the northern part of Israel. And they have here 4 different stories, 4 different owners, 4 different sites. The business owners are seeing their business crash, and sometimes it's without a good compensation for the government. So that's why they're calling it they were passed over. Lo batuach she'am Yisrael yachzor aleinu. We're not certain that Am Yisrael, that the people of Israel, will come back to us. And one of them says, what normal mother will come with her children up here to the north after October 7th? It's just absurd. So he understands, this owner understands the families that are not coming, but they are very much hit by it financially. Also here, Darom Rek in the south. The south is empty, Darom Rek. All of the businesses of tourism around Gaza on the Israeli side are waiting for visitors, and the visitors are not coming. So the tourist in Israel is still very much hit, even within the Israeli tourists themselves. Israel במלחמה, האנטישמיות באמריקה, the anti-Semitism in America. And this is another article about the anti-Semitism on America's campuses that is just in a very high rise. לסטודנטים יהודים יש סיבה לחשוש. For Jewish students, there is a reason to be concerned. And of course, Columbia University is here in the headline. As she said, she will not evacuate the pro-Palestinian demonstration that's on her premises. And to the next headline, also around anti-Semitism, there's a suggestion, new suggestion. It says, "Hahata'a לחסום את TikTok בישראל," to block TikTok in Israel. This is because TikTok is full of anti-Israeli content, and the government is thinking how to deal with this. It's just extremely pro-Palestinian. So they're suggesting maybe to block TikTok to Israel because TikTok is not doing anything about it. So Israelis will just not be able to use TikTok anymore. Turning a page, there's a nice article about the butterflies here in Israel. Even though it feels like the extreme of summer, as there's great heat right now, it's actually the midst of spring. And we see here a beautiful article about different butterflies, and one of them is very rare, and it showed up just the second time in Israel. So they're saying for whoever loves butterflies, this is just an amazing sight to see this specific one called Nechushta Nemalim Midbari. Can you say that? Nechushta Nemalim Midbari. So it's nice to see in the midst of this war, the butterflies are free, enjoying the flowers. And they mention here Ariel Shovayev from Sderot. He's back home in Sderot after he's been evacuated since October 7th. Well, he's back home. He loves the butterflies since first grade, he says, and he's proud to say Sderot in the south has more butterflies than Eilat does, way down south. Before I move on, I'm seeing here on the right an opinion column that's addressing the propaganda clip published yesterday by Hamas about Hirsch. The writer is saying, please do show these clips, because in Israel, usually when these clips are shown or published by Hamas, Israel bans it, and they don't show it on the media platforms in Israel, and not on the news, not on the TV, not on the news websites online. But she's saying, please do send it. It's not psychological terror anymore. That's passé, that's old. We want to see our hostages. So she's just criticizing the decision of the government or of the media platforms not to show these clips to Israelis, even after the family has approved, and it could be published if the media wanted to. So she is asking to reconsider those decisions. Okay, and last, in the back here, Chom HaMoed, the heat of the holiday. It is extremely hot. Yesterday, today is even hotter. 2 days ago was extremely hot as well. So we're in a very hot 3 days. And even though the war is going on, we see here in Ashkelon and in Nahariya, full and packed beaches of people just cooling off in the water, enjoying their little vacation that they have here in Israel despite the war. For more updates and for more stories, go to allisrael.com. Please follow us on social media and share these videos with your friends. Like it if you liked it. This is Rotem Magen for All Israel News.